Hello everyone and welcome back to the Edain mod, and today we're doing the first of the proper history videos playing as Gondor. So, what is historically changed for Gondor in the last few years? Well, first thing to mention about Gondor is that they have received a lot of changes. They are the faction that has received perhaps the most changes in Edain history. And it's not because they've been overpowered through most of it, although they have been a bit strong through a good portion of it. But it's because they are just overall a fun and playable faction. They're the faction you see very little of in Return of the King, but the bits you do see, oh, you love seeing them. So, what makes Gondor different? So, firstly, you've got two different buttons to what you had when you played back in 4.0. And we're going to go for the Ranger tent here. So, originally, back in the a few patches ago, back in 4.4, I think that was before they made this change, the Ranger tent was purely a recruitment building. And all you could get from it was Rangers and Faramir and composite bows. It was your only way of getting Faramir. It was your only way of getting Ithilien Rangers. But they've changed it now. Now, the Ranger tent is a resource structure that generates resources for you, but also reduces the cost of composite bows. Now, originally when this change was made, back in 4.5... before they made the change to composite bows, it was originally a change to reduce the cost of Rangers. But then they changed that thinking, wow, that's really powerful. And originally, town houses reduced the cost of Rangers as well. But again, that's been changed. So now Rangers are a permanent 600 resources. I believe they were more than that to begin with. But that has been changed as well. But yeah, the main thing I can say that hasn't changed are any of their units. Gondor has received only one new unit, and it's not actually really a unit that many people actually know about, unless they have paid attention to the siege updates. Now we're going to get a signal fire here. Now this is a very different signal fire to what we had back in, well, quite a few patches now actually. Now originally, this building was the old signal fire that you could capture back in BFME2 days. And that is now a whole very different story. I wonder where the AI is. I wonder where they have gone. Or if this map glitches them out. We'll find out soon enough. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, so, signal fires. Now, originally, this was a building that you would automatically just have. And it would permanently, well, not permanently, it would every, like, 2 minutes recruit a new unit. Oh, it was Rohan, okay. Gonna get Denethor out here. We need to counter spam with spam. So, what Gondor has in abundance, we're actually going to also go for Horn of Gondor. So what Horn of Gondor does, it just gives us damage and fear resistance. You may think it gives damage and armor, but no, it's only damage we get from this. So again, signal fire originally was just the large signal fire building, not the mini signal fire with a house on top. But they have changed quite a few things about that. Oh my god, I'm getting swarmed. Oh my lord, we're getting swarmed. Okay, we're going to have to get back to that quickly, because we're going to have to go for Denethor. Now, a cool thing about Denethor you might not know about is that, well, actually, you might know if you saw the post I put on my YouTube channel recently, is that Denethor originally only existed on the Citadel. You couldn't actually use the bugger in actual combat, but now you can. They've changed him. Oh, that's a lot of Rohan. That's a lot of Rohan. Oh dear. I'm getting archery range. I'm going to hope this mobilization holds up for a while. I'm going to get some Ringlow Vale swordsmen before this building just gets destroyed. And we're also going to build a Black market? No, there's a marketplace. Come on, give me my archers. Give me my archers. I don't really need the archers, but shut up. Here we go, we're pulling back.
Why should your songs be unfit for my hall?
And yep, just like that, from the building we get some Ring-Lovel swordsmen. Now these units have not been changed. Their ability, the envoys deal additional damage against enemies without heavy armor, but only moderate damage against enemies with heavy armor. So you want some good early tier units. You might want to get a Signal Fire and invest in the swordsmen. They're really good. Lasonic Axemen deal damage to structures. The Pelagian Monster Slayers deal great damage against monsters, as you can imagine. And then you've got the Black Reveal Archers, which are obviously just archers. For free, basically. You pay the start 400, and then you just get them for free. So, what makes Xenoforce so good when he got changed? He has an interesting attack. He summons Guardians of the White City to his command, or whatever they're actually called. Fountain Guardians. He summons Fountain Guardians, and those Fountain Guardians are really good. Because they're basically a heroic unit that you can just constantly keep summoning on tap. And from that, you can be getting a lot of good upgrades. Because every time Denethor levels up, which the only way to hit for him to level up is through the Clairvoyant Stone ability. And as you can see, when I use that the first time, I then got access to Emergency Mobilization, which is one of Denethor's best powers. All his powers are amazing, but that is just one of the best, by far. There's a king. So yeah, what makes Rohan dangerous is the fact that they are one of these spam factions, basically. Especially with the AI. They can spam for days. Now, what we just used was the tax abatement, which has just come into effect, and so I'm going to get rid of this building now. Basically, what that does is, for the next for 4 minutes, you get no money, but for 3 minutes worth of resources. You get 3 minutes worth of resources. So I'm just doing that to delete it, so I can get more money. We're going to pick Barrage. Is a very interesting power. It was also introduced in the most recent patch. And we're going to aim for Beregond next. In our lineup, we're going to get some more Ring-Lovel swordsmen. Now, before we continue, let's just quickly talk about the power tree. If you have seen the power tree in the History of Edain video I just recently made, Assistance in Times of Need was originally a tier 2 power, which would give you more units. But now it's been made onto the defensive side of the tree, so that each reinforcement for the fiefdoms arrives with additional soldiers. So basically, you normally get 1 soldier, you would then get twice that many soldiers from that upgrade. Now, we have a lot of weakened units. I'm going to get rid of this farm. I don't want the AI to have another recruitment structure. Not while they're just slowly building up. Now, what I could do is throw Barrage on top, which would deal massive damage in the area to anything around. No, not massive damage. It would deal damage to anything around. Let us get Beregond. Oh, I can't need to build the expanded storerooms, which we shall do now. And we're not going to build another resource structure because in the economy change, everything for economy is different. So we have the thing called supply routes. And if you ever go above a certain limit, you will lose resources. So right now we have only 5 because the range is 10 over here and 4 structures in the base. Now if they go into that base, I'm going to be upset. Of course they do.
And why should your songs be unfit for my...
No, we're going to take a farm. I'm going to barrage these guys, I think. I don't want to, but I think I'll have to. Yep. Going to barrage these guys. It might hurt my structures a bit as well, but it slows them down and weakens them for the duration. And we got rid of their farm. Good. Now I'm about to build another ranger tent, so I'm actually going to build another townhouse as well. Oh no, that's a single fire. Wrong building. And I didn't get any money back. Well, that's 400 resources never coming back. But we now have more command points, so we can get some more troops. Typically with Gondor, I wait until I get the emergency mobilization before I use this, because I don't have any upgrades to give my units. So why should I worry about having them more expensive, like, when I could just make them cheaper? That's my theory anyway on it. They fall back with splitting up a bit too much here. We need to be more centralized. In the hands of a witless halfling. Yeah, Denethor, originally his tax abatement was his first power he gained from the Clairvoyant Stone, and then emergency mobilization was his third. But then this the blind attack order was his second ability that he would gain. So they've moved some of his abilities around, and obviously again I'm using as much as possible just to make our units stronger. And now we're going to get Beregond to protect by killing off these peasants. And I'm thinking we're actually going to go this side of the power tree now as well, so we can actually get assistance in times of need. Because honestly, I haven't given the units of the fiefdoms enough credit. They are really good if used properly. And I think against Rohan, the Ringlow Swordsmen have been the MVP for these engagements. Whoever thought Denethor would be good with money? Oh yeah, he's not good with money. He just likes to exploit people with it. So again, we've got a townhouse here. I'm gonna blindly take all the money away from it. I'm gonna demolish it, and I'm gonna rebuild it so I can make my money. But I'm gonna build it in a different location because I'm fairly certain that in certain places it actually doesn't give you back everything. Okay, we've got quite a few command points open and some resources, so I'm going to get some more soldiers and more archers. Just get them lined up. I expect most of my units to die. This is kind of like a Mordor situation, actually, where you've got a lot of units, but you don't really care if they live or die as much because of the fact they're not going to be amazing if they could get upgrades, which they can't. These Gondor soldiers, the only way they can get upgrades is if I was to get the ring and give it to Boromir. That is the only way these units will get any upgrades. Otherwise, they can get nothing. That's what happens when you use the emergency mobilization. You see here, for 2 minutes, Gondor barracks train soldiers and pikemen for half their price, but trained units can't purchase any upgrades nor have any abilities. That's the same for the archer, doesn't say for the archers as well. I'm fairly certain it is. Yeah, 150, that's definitely the case. Now, another thing that also got updated was the Lone Tower. You can actually put archers and post them into that tower, and they would actually protect it really well. The same can be done with actually, it can be done with any unit, can't it? Yeah, it can be done with any units. Yeah, while I'm just blindly summoning troops, we get things like that. So, what else can this thing do? Well, normally, when you've got assistance in times of need, you will get access to the aid from Pelargir or from Blackroot Vale. But they changed it so now you can just get them by paying more of this special resource, which I'm just going to call... I don't even know what to call these. Agents? I'm going to call them agents. For every agent that you have, you can send them off, and then they'll come back with reinforcements. Obviously, if you have the command points for them. And I think the next thing I want to do is save up enough money to get Aragorn. Because although we have not faced them yet, Rohan is known to make their heroes. And I don't want to have to face an entire Gondor Rohan army and their heroes. If you actually look at their base, thanks to Clairvoyant Stone, they have got catapults up now. One thing to note about Rohan is, well, actually no, just as in general, actually, not just as Rohan, but in general, when playing against Siege, the best choice is to go for cavalry. So we are actually going to build a stables. I know it's crazy. You've probably never seen me make a stables ever before. But surprisingly, I saw the Edain mod posted a like a little thing, like statistics, saying that they have in the late game, cavalry is actually a good way of securing a victory. And I first thought of that and was thinking, what? Cavalry good? I've never seen cavalry be good. But honestly, hands down, I believe it. I believe cavalry in the late game, if it can be used properly, can supply a very easy victory. Especially when you're adding up with Rohan answers. It's a really good power combo. Now we're going to quickly build a ranger tent here so we can use Beregond's first ability to summon troops. The guards of the third company. Now originally with this power, it would have a second form when you reach level 10. So basically you would get Faramir's bodyguards kind of thing. These really powerful units. But it was also a heroic unit, which was a permanent summon. That was quickly changed, and now you can just target any building or hero. I think you have to target a certain area. That's why I've been doing it wrong. Some buildings you have to target a certain area to make the some abilities work, which is it is a bit silly, but it does make sense. Gonna get more ranger tents. I've really got to close that gate. Let's get some ordinary troops and some ordinary archers. Because I think we're in that point where we're actually going to get the iron ore. I keep talking about getting who's its name, but I haven't yet. Don't worry, I might. Yeah, we've got this ranger tent now. I want to go back and protect my other ranger tent. I could barrage them. I think I will, just to slow down their attack. Did not work. The rangers are protecting it better than I am. But yeah, this barrage deals small damage and knocks back enemies, dealing high damage against buildings. And they go for the nearest enemy building, which sometimes can go a long way. But it does eventually stop. But yeah, you can actually see this is siege damage being done to structures. And we're being attacked from three fronts. Oh dear. Oh dear, there goes the citadel. You know what? We didn't need cavalry. We're fine, we didn't need cavalry. We're going to actually build a Border Stronghold. A building I typically don't build as Gondor, because it is a meh building. It's the first of the good outposts, because originally with... Oh, they found the ring. Originally with Rohan, they didn't have a particular special outpost, which I'm going to be talking about when playing Rohan. But with... actually, we're going to change something up here. We're going to get Gandalf. Now, the last time we played with Arnor, we actually got Ring Hero Gandalf, but in his grey form, so he was the evil Gandalf. If we get one more power point, we can get Gandalf the Challenge Master. Potentially one of the most dangerous ring heroes in the game. Just because it's Gandalf +1. Now, I'm not sure I'll be able to reach there in time to get the ring, but we can try. I've invested fully into this. But okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So originally, the Border Stronghold was the only good outpost in the very beginning. I mean, Isengard had a special outpost. Mordor had 2 special outposts, but Rohan had none. And again, I'll be talking about what Rohan has in their special outpost when their time comes. Their time has not yet come. So we're going to build a battle tower, and we're actually going to get the some Ringlow Vale swordsmen, because we might need them to protect this place now. But there is a little bit of a timer, so I'm actually going to get some recruits from Blackroot Vale. While we're just... oh, yep, there's their first hero, Theodred. Now he's going against basic Gondor soldiers. Give them all massive damage, so 50% extra damage, That's 25% extra damage. Clairvoyant Stone, because why not? I'm going to tax this structure. I'm going to destroy that structure. I probably should have destroyed that structure, but shush. Hush. Hush, child. Your words are not needed. Oh, they had a battering ram. Okay, I just lost a signal fire. And I lost my chance to get Aragorn. Ah. Okay, time to go back. Now, we have Gandalf the White. And he comes to me now at the turn of the tide. He's not going to get the ring in time. Okay. If you're wondering why he's missing a bit of health, it's because when he turns into Gandalf the White for the first time, he actually gains more health. He gains 100% extra damage on magic attacks, recharge time reduction, and his spell, and he gains more life points. And we're going to do something I haven't done yet. We're going to upgrade my structures. Oh, so many things to do, so little time. But yeah, Gandalf, I'd say, is a hero that has received 0 changes. Yep, he has received absolutely 0 changes since his inception into... in fact, no, I don't think he's been changed from Edain 3.8. Beregond has been changed. Now he has an ability that regenerates your units in the area of a building. That's a new thing that came into existence. Then he has all nearby structures become invulnerable for 30 seconds. And then he has an ability that makes all his abilities that can target buildings also target heroes. That's right. He can make heroes invulnerable like he was Thorin Brokenshield. Like, how can you not love that with a faction that has characters like Gandalf and Aragorn? And Boromir. Give them full immunity. And then also give them healing. In combat, by the way. You can actually heal in combat with this ability. That's one of the few abilities in the game that can actually heal in combat. On top of, obviously, the powers to heal, which only Enlargers and Mordor have now. Thanks to the power update. Let's have a look at the Border Stronghold. The building that was the original fortress-looking building. Now, again, the reason I don't like this is because, unlike an outpost, it takes a long time to build. Has about the same amount of health when it's getting hit by siege units. And finally, if the main building gets destroyed, you've got to build it all over again. There's no going back on that. Once it's been built, you want to demolish it, you're going to lose all your money. That's something that I do actually like about the Edain mod. If you make a structure and you mess up and you want to go back on it, you can't go back on it, because if you go back on it, you're losing all your money. It's a dangerous tactic. Should be careful when using it. I'm also going to build a postern gate so I don't have to open this gate ever again. And there we go, the Border Stronghold. What can we build from it? We can get banners, which gives our units damage and armor. Doubles the number of archers. Boiling oil. And heal. On top of Dol Amroth's soldiers, which are a nice support unit. I believe their main thing is that they support the fiefdom units. So you have any fiefdom units? They're going to get stronger when they're any Knights of Dol Amroth. There is still a structure here I haven't gotten to yet, or anyone has gotten to yet. You can also get Imrahil, who's been given his proper brunette hair instead of blonde. And then from him you can recruit the Dol Amroth Swan Knights, which I think is actually a really good idea to go for as Gondor. With Arnor, I'd say this building is less than useless because the Glorfindel Wind Riders are actually really bad. But the Dol Amroth Swan Knights are actually really good. And it's all because of their abilities. Having a good ability makes a big difference in this game. It really does. Okay, how's our money looking? I kind of want to double down and get as much money as possible so I can keep talking about stuff but also other stuff. So Dol Amroth Swan Knights, their abilities have always been the same. Inspiration, nearby friendly infantry gain damage. Does not apply to other soldiers of Dol Amroth. So you have one or two of them, and they're like mega banner carriers. Extra damage. Just perfect. Perfect addition. Oh yeah, and something to note about tax abatement. It only works on... it doesn't work on a ranger tent. It does not work on a... wait, can it work on a ranger tent? I'm waiting for the number. 471. It works on ranger tents. So if you've got a settlement building, you want to just you think you're gonna lose. There you go. Too soon to be attacking the enemy base. Too soon. Too soon. We won't actually be able to destroy it. In the most recent updates, they gave a lot of power to defending a fortress if things were looking at their worst. We're just going to lock everything down in here while we retreat. Throw out a lone tower as well, just to be spiteful. Now, all we need now is to find the ring, and we show off the other ring hero, which I haven't shown off yet since I came back to Edain. But yeah, Gandalf, in either of his ring hero states, he has not changed one bit. He's always been Gandalf the Corrupted or Gandalf the Challenge Master, depending on who you are. As Arnor, however, you always get Gandalf the Corrupted because he cannot become Gandalf the White. We all get Boromir and Faramir. Shortly Boromir, but I want to get Aragorn first. We're going to get Aragorn. But yeah, Boromir has actually received a change as well. The ability he is most renowned for in Edain, the fact that when he gets to low health he doesn't die, he keeps fighting for as long as possible, and then he finally dies. Originally was just he would sit still and he would just constantly wail at anything in range. If anything wasn't in range, he would just sit there slowly getting dizzy and then fall over. That is no longer the case. He will now actually fight back, and you can control him fully until he finally passes. So if you've got a good idea of wanting to use Boromir to his best efficiency, you're probably going to want to not let him die, obviously, but if you have no choice but to let him die, then do it gracefully. Ah, yeah, I didn't think this was going to hold up for much longer. As you can see, we can now get our rangers from our tents because they are level 3. Thanks to the 4 settlers tools. And we have Strider. Again, another hero that has actually received no changes. A lot of Gondor's changes are centralized in Denethor and Beregond, the 2 earlier heroes. Pippin is another example. He actually has received a change. There's only a single change. It's not like a massive change. It's just that him and Merry had 2 different abilities. One would be Pippin gets extra range because he looks at the Palantir. And Merry, he would get extra speed because he's from Rohan. He gets extra speed, right? Well, then they changed it, so they both get the same ability. They get extra vision range and movement speed for the duration. You can see he's got nice little speed trails behind him. He's always had pay 400, he gets straight away to level 5. He and Merry are the only 2 heroes that can go straight to level 5 with this. And then finally gets Dagger of the Noldor, which does bonus damage to something if it's in the back. Yeah, we're just slowly healing up now. And we built the Iron Ore, so I could start getting more upgrades. And we have got some units that are upgraded. Now, if I was playing as a faction that had now gotten to their elite troops, and my current units were not good enough to fight them, there's a B when I would transition into Tower Guards, or continue with Anorian soldiers would give them full upgrades. And that's the main thing with Gondor. Their upgrades are actually quite easy to get. And also Ithilien Rangers. Back in Edain, not back in Edain, back in BFME1, I would always just spam Tower Guards and Ithilien Rangers because they were your 2 elite units. They're your 2 tier 2 units and they did amazing together. Tower Guards could hold on and never die because they had like plus 75% armor through their ability. And then the Rangers were just massive damage dealers, shooting off and off over and over and over again. Gonna get the reinforced garrison as we get to a bit more defences.
And why should your songs be unfit for my
The clairvoyant stone, see if anything is being prepared. Now, some factions I've noticed don't always build up everything that they should. That is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. The AI doesn't always give their all. But I think that's also because of the difficulty of the faction. Obviously, I said to... I haven't actually shown it, but we are playing as a hard difficulty, not a brutal. I know. I've gone down a level, but that's just so I could talk more about everything that's going on. If we were playing against full-on Rohan, we'd be going against cavalry spam right now. Although they have not built a single stable, so that's why we've not gone against cavalry spam. We've gone against infantry spam, and that's it. Although peasant spam is bad. Peasant spam is actually really strong in certain situations. But yeah, Tower Guards, they've never been changed. Guards of the Citadel, they've never been changed. Guardians of the White City, you require Boromir to get them, and again, they've never been changed. Archery range obviously is now better because you can get ranges on top of fire arrows from them. You don't need the ranger tents to make them good. I still go for the ranger tents personally because I can then make rangers from anywhere. I don't have to wait for them to come all the way from the base. I can just go straight, get them straight into the action. And obviously there's all these Ringler swordsmen. And again, these units, if you go for units that have specialties in like early combat, it's a really good choice to give them heavy armor first. Heavy armor and then forged blades. Because heavy armor makes them last longer, and if they can live longer, then they can fight longer. And if they can fight longer, they can kill more. There are very few situations where you actually want to prioritize forged blades over heavy armor, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion. Here we've got some rangers scouting for Gondor. What we need to find, though, is the ring. I really want to show off Gandalf the Challenge Master. Basically, all his lightning and wizard normal stuff becomes super golden. And it's amazing, and it's beautiful. And it would be an amazing thumbnail. That's why I'm waiting for it. Wizard Blast, good as always. Lightning Sword. It's better against heroes and elite infantry, but not that good against buildings anymore, unfortunately. It's not overpowered like it was back in its beginning days. Oh, wait. I shouldn't be able to use this on Ranger Tents. Because look, this Ranger Tent here doesn't work. This Ranger Tent, oh, it does work, okay. Oh, another thing to note is, if you use that straight away, recruitment is ridiculously fast. So if you want to get like 2 units of Rangers out really quickly, use that on the building you're tax abating. Look at that, Wizard Blast is already back. Things are getting knocked back, staying in one place. Gandalf walks up. Oh no, what am I going to do? You can't do anything, you're dead. And now we've got Shadowfax. So now we're going to fall back again, because we're not afraid of the enemy at all. We're going to get Imrahil, just so we can show off Imrahil. Again, another faction hero who is amazing, but has received 0 changes. So that I know of. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. He might have received like 10 changes I would not know. He's not a hero that I personally have paid much attention to because I don't normally get this building, as I have mentioned many times already. Yep, we're going to get extra repairs on this. Also, the House of Healing is one of the few ways you can actually get proper healing anymore. Let me show what I mean. We've actually got one build plot open. The Well. Originally, wells were always the same. You would stand near it, you would heal your troops, and then eventually you would get replenishments. Now, it's been changed. The rules have been changed. Now, if you want to get replenishment for your troops, you either need a banner carrier, or you need to activate the ability of the well. You can't have it both ways.
There's some things that I must see to.
I'm going to build another signal fire, because I want to do a bit of testing here. I want to know if having 2 signal fires, you merge the same amount of errant riders, or if it's only different, or if it is different for each signal fire. Again, something I've never really tested because I don't typically go for signal fires. It's a building I typically ignore, or have no real want to go for. Here we go. I see no errant riders. Okay, so it is different. Good to know. And also, if you get a certain amount, like 8, you get 1 battalion of each fiefdom. However, if you have assistance in times of need, you get like... Actually, I want to find out... I can't find out the truth. We've got no command points left. You will not enter Gondor. In Hobbiton. Oh yeah, the well. Your reinforcements for a limited time, allied units near the well replenish fallen soldiers. Again, was not originally a thing. That is a thing that came with the new patch. And I think it's a good change as well, because obviously not every faction has a well. No good faction has a well ability. So the fact you have to actually pay for that well ability over a short amount of time is a good change. It is a productive change. Now we're going to get Rohan answers. Actually, you know what? Do we want to see Overfill? Or do we want to see Rohan answers, people? I've got people on Twitch watching. I'm going to wait and see if anyone answers. If they do, you'll get your wish. Do we get the Army of the Dead, or do we go for the classic Rohan charge? You know, we're going to get one farm just so I can show off how powerful Grand Harvest can be.
Rule of Gondor was given notice.
There's one farm. I could have picked up these chests to speed up that speed, but whatever.
And why should your songs be unfit?
Fall back. It is not your time. I want to find Gollum. Where is he? I do not see him.
Other forces at work in this world besides the
He must be somewhere. Want to see Rohan? Okay, we're going to see Rohan. So, Rohan answers. Originally used to be a instant summon of a large cavalry army. That was quick. That was not quickly changed, but it was changed. Oh, we found Gollum. Okay, we're going to talk about Rohan answers soon, but we want to get Gollum first. Knocked him over, Gandalf. Come on. And we have Gandalf the Challenge Master. Now, none of his abilities have actually changed, but they are ridiculously powerful now. That is the difference. He is now incredibly powerful. But before we go in, let us activate Rohan answers over here. So again, it used to be a automatic summon, but they made a good change in that now it's a Randy banner, which it says it has a health bar, but I've never seen anyone attack it. Never seen an AI attack this health bar. Oh, and they've just built that. Oh, I want to stop that. That's Rohan's tier 4 power right there. We'll talk about that a bit in the future. Oh, those soldiers have gone right to upgrade. We have money, might as well spend it. Even though we can get other heroes and other good stuff, but it's fine, it's fine. So yeah, we could click this immediately to get the riders we have, but as you can see, we currently have 3 Rohirrim. If we wait long enough, we get the King, then we get the Shield Maiden, and then we get the 3rd Marshal, the Ridmark. And then if the power goes all the way to his end, we get 8 units of Rohirrim, along, well no, we get 6 Rohirrim, along with 2 heroes that count as full units. And then also, finally, we get, obviously, all those heroes. Let's destroy this area. Oh, I did not know this gives resources. That is good to know. That's good to talk about in the next one. When we talk about Rohan. But yeah, this is their recruitment cut. They could make endless Rohirrim from here, which could be fully upgraded, and can switch to their bows whenever they want. Oh yeah, so Aragorn. Right away you see him as Strider, because he comes from the Signal Fire, because, you know, he's the wandering hero. At level 4, he becomes the righteous warrior that protected Rohan in the 2 towers. As he reaches level 7, he becomes the righteous leader who fought in the battle for the Black Gate. And then at level 10, he becomes King Elisar. He is returned to his throne, and he is a badass king, you think. But all he does is give, like, heroic statues more power, and they do more stuff. Oh, yeah, there's one farm. How many resources is it making? How many? How many? This is with Grand Harvest, I think. 49! That is actually really good. That's like 15 more than what an ordinary farm would make. Or a townhouse, even. Oh, I can't abate that tax. Can I tax abate there here? Of course I can. Why not? I can't get any here because I've got no command points. No, it's fine. Increased taxes used to buff all townhouses to make more money, but then people realise, oh, townhouses are super overpowered. I should just get them all the time and make sure they get full upgrades. Yeah, no, they changed that super quick. Now the reduced cost works on infantry as well. So basically, your main units that start at 200 and 300, they're now even cheaper. I'm gonna get another townhouse because I can, because why not? Because personally, the upgrade cost reduction is so minuscule for me. For me, that cost reduction is so minuscule. We've almost got our full army. We can now get everyone, but we only get 6 and Grimbold. If we wait a little bit longer, we also get Elfhelm. Oh, I forgot about Imrahil. We paid for him, but we haven't got him yet. Sad days. Sad days. We just kind of got an army that is super strong and has not died yet. Beregond. And if anyone's near there, they get replenishment. Yeah, personally, I find having fiefdom units are good. Especially in the early game when your resource structures don't give you as much money. Just because you can focus them in your camp or castle. And then you can just build up from there, slowly but surely. And then we've got a 4 Rohirrim army. Charge into death. Although Rohirrim actually can be glorious charge, so they will be. I completely forgot this power, that we still had this ability. It makes sense though, because now we got death on our side. Along with a lot of lag. Apologies, that's what happens when you have an army that is more than your command point cap can hold. Gandalf. Lightning saw that archery range. Before he didn't do much damage to structures, but now we shall see. Eomer gives all our units life steal, not life steal, resource steal, scavenger, that's the one. And he has a spear throw, which goes through units and deals lots of damage. So you can kill whole units with that. And then finally, Eowyn, a massive hero killer. I am no man. Eowyn gains a massive damage boost and increased movement speed and cannot be knocked back while the target hero is nearby. Look at that golden lightning. This is the thumbnail right here. This is the thumbnail. Golden lightning. If only we lasted long enough for it to be golden word of power. Maybe another time. Another time, sure, for sure.
You should not doubt him.
You should not doubt him. Come on, we gotta get Aragorn to at least his second form. He's just like Frieza. He's got 4 forms. There we go. His first form's kind of meh. You just kind of sit there, disguise yourself with cloak. Then you become big and badass. Then you become a parody, and then you just become a king.
It isn't much, but it's hot.
And also, obviously, Andor the Flame of the West grows stronger with each change. I believe this form, it is now red. Originally, it is green. In his first form, his Blade Master is green. In this form, I believe it is red. Yep, it is red. In his King form, actually no, not his King form, his Heir Apparent, his Elisar form, I believe it is golden. And then his Estelle form, his final form, the King of all Gondor and Arnor, it turns then like pure flashing white. Look at that. That is an army to remember. And against Rohan of all factions. Rohan is a dangerous faction. We got really lucky they did not go for cavalry, because we went for a lot of infantry. But again, this video was not meant to show you how to beat a faction. This was just showing you how Gondor has changed over the years. Originally, a lot of things would have been different. Early game Gondor is actually really difficult back in the day. What's my opinion on the powers? Both powers have different reasons for being good. Rohan, the Rohan Answer's power can do amazing things like that, but also with Glorious Charge, you can charge through entire pipelines, entire armies, and cleave them up. But Army Dead can do the same thing. But also Rohan Answers requires a time limit, has a timer on it before it gets really good. But also Rohan Answers can destroy a fortress. Army of the Dead cannot. Army of the Dead can destroy an army and take next to no damage, unless you're playing against a hero who can deal with them. So again, you can either go for the aggressive or the defensive side of the power tree, depending on how you play, who you're playing against, how the map turns out, there's so many different combinations of ways you can play. Especially as Gondor. Gondor is one of those factions that's always had so many options open to them. Similar to Mordor, which we'll talk about in a couple weeks, I'm sure. Hope you all enjoyed the Gondor history video. Next up will be the Rohan history video. Oh, and what fun we'll have. Okay, next on the list. Rohan against a